Hey, what's going on, guys? Back to work on the X-Wing helmet. Yay! I think what I'm going to do on this video is I'm going to attach this front block onto the mohawk. Like so. Well, it's not going to be that easy. I wish. It's not going to be that hard, I don't think. It does need a little bit of adjustment, I think. Just a little nip and tuck just to get some of the wobble out, because it kind of wants to sit up, and we get a gap here. So I've got to knock up these little edges here just a touch so it'll come all the way down, or I could pull that forward. Yeah, that doesn't look as good. Anyway, it's gonna be pretty simple. I'm gonna put a blob of something on these rivets, grease, paint, something like that. I gotta figure out what I'm gonna use. It needs to be kind of thick though, and it needs to be brightly colored so I can see it. And I'll just stick this on here, and it'll mark the spots. But I think what I need to do first is actually trim this up just a touch so it will fit and sit all the way down, because it wants to sit up weird. I don't want that. I spent all this time on the mohawk. I don't want this sitting weird. Anyways, if you haven't noticed, I'm wearing a shirt that says beans on it. I actually designed this shirt. I'll put a link in the description for it. Nothing to do with props. I just thought it'd be funny. So if you have a weird sense of humor and you like beans, I got a shirt for you. All right, let's get started. Alright, we got our spots. Now I'm just going to use my my trusty flex shaft tool here. I'm going to put on a sanding drum bit, and I'm just going to carve out a little dimple for those rivets to sit into so it can sit even lower. So I might actually have to trim up those little notches I made on the ends a little bit more so it'll sit even further down and be more flush. At least that's the goal. We'll see. Yeah. So let's get to grinding. That worked pretty well. Kind of like I predicted, I would have to adjust the notch. It seems like this one, if I bevel the edge just a touch, then it'll sit down just a little bit lower. Doesn't need much, so I'm just going to hit that with a file real quick and do a little bit more test fitting and nudging and see if I can get it to sit even flatter and more flush than it was before. But it's looking pretty good, so pretty happy with that so far. So once that's done, all I gotta do is glue it on, and gosh, I wonder what kind of glue I should use. I have so many choices. I'll probably just use the shoe goo because it works. And I can pull it back off if I need. I like that. Anyway, let's get to adjusting now. Well, that literally took like 10 seconds to do. I mean, that took no time. That was real time. That was all the effort put into adjusting that. It just worked. I just had to take that little corner off, and it sat a little bit lower, and it's in there as far as it'll go. So, yeah, glue time. Shoe goo time. All right, we'll see if that holds. I think it will. It's taped in place. It can't go anywhere. But then again, it's, you know, kind of hanging off the front. You never know. It could slip. It's shoe goo, so I should be able to just separate it with like a screwdriver. It's not the strongest stuff in the world, but it'll stay put as long as you don't pull too hard on it. I mean, it can be pretty strong. But anyways, while that's drying, I want to take a quick minute to kind of talk about some of the things that are coming up in the next video. I'm trying to do these a lot shorter, not the big long thing like I just got done dealing with the 3-part mohawk attachment video. That was a whole big mess. Anyway, let me get this mohawk, or the helmet. So on the back here, I got to deal with that unevenness on the mohawk. I need to trim that up. I need to make a little filler panel, and then I don't know exactly what I'm going to do about this, but it just flipped up. No, stay down. Yeah, this thing's, there's nothing to attach to this tape to, like on the bottom side. Well, that was a little bit scary. Not to worry. I added a lot more glue, so it's a lot thicker in there. I don't think it was making quite enough contact. And then I've retaped it, and it's held in place. It's on this block, and it's tilted backwards, so it's not as much forward gravity to pull it off. It's a little bit more even, and it's being supported against the wall here very gently, so it can't go anywhere. It's in place. But yeah, and I wrapped a little bit of tape around the front too to kind of hold it down a little bit, so it's there. It's gonna be okay. It's like the worst part of building anything is you gotta wait for things to dry, like glue and paint and, you know, epoxy and whatever. It's gotta cure, it's gotta dry, it's gotta do whatever. I'd get so much more done if I didn't have to wait for things to dry. Anyway, yeah, I'm gonna wait for this to dry, and then I'll show you guys what it looks like without the tape. Which you've seen before. Anyway, what I was talking about before, I got interrupted by things falling off. I gotta make a little backfill panel, and it sticks down further than the back of the actual base helmet. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm gonna do about that. It's probably like 3/8 of an inch, you know, drop. So I was thinking about using some of the piping that came with the kit that I think is actually supposed to go on the front of the helmet, but I was thinking about putting it on the back there. That way, in case if somebody puts it on, Ian puts it on to wear it, it's not going to cut into his neck. It's got a nice soft edge there. But I do need to trim it up so it doesn't have any sharp points. And then yeah, put that piping, or I want to make a filler panel and then put the piping on that. So that's the idea right now. If anybody's got a better idea, let me know. I'm all for it. All for hearing it. I don't know what your idea is. It could be dumb. My idea could be dumb. Whatever. Yeah, so I'll be back in just a minute. Hopefully this will be dry. Okay, so it'll be just a second for you guys. Yeah, get out of here. I'm back. Let's see if it's going to stay put now. Ah! Still tacky. Well, that was really freaking scary and annoying. It's actually still tacky. It's not totally cured up, so I just stuck it right back on. And it's sticking. So I'm going to leave it overnight. We're going to come back. But I can't imagine that I have any reason to yank on it hard. I pulled the tape off, and that's what pulled it off, so as you saw. Yeah, so let's take a look. All right, here it is in all its glory. Now, I'm going to show you guys that gap I was talking about on the back side. Now that the front's not going to fall off. This gap right here. So I'm going to trim this up so it's nice and smooth and flush and we don't have these pointy bits. But I'm not sure if I need to create a filler panel here. I might. Or if I just need to put a piece of black trim across the back, you know, kind of like there is on the inner part, but just another piece here. I don't know, because there's no blueprints for what I'm doing. Anyways, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. It's much, much shorter. I prefer editing shorter videos and shooting shorter videos, but just sometimes I want to get something done. I try to get it all into one, and that's when they get humongous. Yeah, there'll be links in the description for some of the stuff I used, which would be like shoe goo. Maybe I'll throw some Dremel bits or something in there. Click on any of those, it helps me out. Also, the beans shirt, if you want a beans shirt, I'll have a link to that. Just for no reason. I just thought it was funny. So, I don't know. Yeah, that's going to be it. Check out the blog, propchopshop.com. I will have a link in the description for that as well. And I'm going to see you guys in the next video. Bye.